If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. There will be a link in the description. They are the cheapest and safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. Well, as I just begin recording this, there's a massive EA fuck up. Well, kind of massive, but also like the ramifications are massive. It's not really the biggest fuck up of all time. They updated the track stars price ranges, and in turn, it removed all of their alternate positions and roles because the coding of this game is 77 years old, and people are buying and selling those cards right now because there's a chance that they will get all of their coins back because there's like some compensation possibly going on, like the same thing with Yaya Toure, if you guys remember that compensation from last year. A lot going on. We'll talk about that in our daily video coming up on the main channel, but today we've got the every comment video. I do these probably, I'm gonna do these like once a month probably, where I'm going to read every single comment you guys leave in one of my videos. No holds bar. I'm answering every single question. So if you're bored at work or gaming or something like that, put this on in the background and hopefully I can entertain you for a little while. And okay, let's begin. Daily Gamer FN. Do you think there is still hope for Rush? It's a fun game mode, but idiot teammates, bad gameplay, and long games made it bad. And I do still think there's hope for Rush. I do. I think that the problem is right now, you guys know when EA implements something for the first time, there's going to be hella flaws. There's going to be little problems here and little problems there that can compound into big problems, like what has happened with Rush so far. But that's sort of expected, honestly. The reason it's so amplified right now is that the rest of the game sucks massive schlong. So then you've got this whole compounding issue of literally every game mode has problems right now, and Rush we liked at the start, and we still do, I think, like as a concept, but right now with the flaws in it, it's hard to play it, and it's amplified because what else do you even fucking play in this game? All the game modes have flaws right now, and it's just stale. Kenny says, EA, I just want to have fun playing the game and some better pack pulls, please. All I ask for, crying, laughing emoji, crying, no, sorry, that's crying sad emoji, crying sad emoji. He replies to his own comment saying, my bad, I just realized that that's too much to ask for. And at the rate this is going this year, yes, it is. It's definitely too much to ask for. And then the Madrid's to pitch says, my new style is ping pong offense and defense. It's like tiki-taka, except the ball just goes back and forth between your team and your opponent's team until luck or unluck someone gets it on a 1v1 run to the goal. So cool. I mean, that's one of the best strategies so far. Defend with all your strikers, right? Striker defending and interceptions this year is like, that's one of the that's one of the most ridiculous things in this game to me. And I am sympathetic towards, it's probably hard to code bad defending. I mean, actually, I don't know why I say that. It's probably really easy to do that, but with EA trying to handhold every single player in this game with just the most elite defending possible with the auto drop back and shit, it's probably hard to program the attackers to not do the same thing and like not have crazy interceptions or crazy defending. So I'm not sympathetic to them at all, but I kind of understand why it'd probably be hard to do that. But I haven't made any gameplay tutorials. I haven't really uploaded gameplay in a while because I simply have zero fun playing it right now. And the videos that you guys actually watch more on my second channel are the ones without the gameplay in it. So I'm like, okay, I'll throw in gameplay like once in a while when I get back to playing the game a lot, but as of right now, I'll just keep making videos like this. And of course, I just want to make stuff that you guys like. So Anubis TGA Sports, not to be an EA shill, but I think we all know why some SBCs are worse. They are trying to slow down the power curve, and that's not an awful thing. But that slowing down wouldn't be so bad if we had a good menu crafting with some form of a fodder replenish. As for the 100-player SBC, it's a 60k value SBC that gave me a 368k Centurion's icon, plus 86s, 84s, and low tier fodder. But I can't sit and bitch when it gave me Campbell. But the first part to your comment saying, yeah, we all know why some SBCs are actually worse. They're trying to slow down the power curve, and that's not an awful thing. I think that is the case. I think most people probably would agree that that isn't a bad thing. I think that's not, honest to God, one of the complaints of the community right now, to be fair. I think some people out there will say, oh my God, where are our icons and shit like that. We had Eusebio in like 2 weeks from this time last year, and we're not even close to that this year. I don't think that most of the community thinks that that's really that bad of a thing, but you add in a slow power curve to literally no menu grind. I mean, there is nothing to do to grind in this game. Every little thing is dictated by EA. Whenever they want to release Division Rivals rewards, it's once a week. You can't grind Rivals rewards. You can't grind Weekend League rewards. You can't grind anything apart from Draft, which is a barrier of entry, because if you want to grind Rush, your rewards eventually run out, right? Basically, every game when you play, your rewards eventually run out, or you don't get them until a very specific time. So there's no way to grind anything gameplay-wise, and the menu content-wise, nothing to grind is the League SBCs and shit, which have been the exact same for the past 3 years, with zero change at all, and they take a lot of time to complete. And you might say, okay, well, you have something to grind, and now you're complaining about that. Yes, I am still complaining about that, because you give us something to quote-unquote grind. It's like, well, what's the problem? It's like, well, it sucks ass, so it's not really something to grind, is it? It's not. And second part to your comment, yeah, I mean, you can always get lucky in a pack, right? You always can, and it's always a gamble, and you want to have fun right now, so you want to open, you know, the 100 player SBC and you got hella coins, you don't give a shit, you can always go for it, right? Most of you know by now that like gamble packs are not going to probably be worth it for you, but if you want to do it for fun, you always can. You want to have fun. So I shit on them a lot because mainly if you're like new viewers to the channel or new to the FC scene, it's like these SBCs are not actually like that worth it to do. So I always want to reiterate that, but most of you know by now. Robert says Fortnite just announced that OG is coming back. BO6 is in its player-based prime. You would absolutely think EA would be panicking and drop outstanding content. No, but instead they're going to drop a dead promo in FC Pro and think it'll save the game. Let's hope Black Friday revives this. Honestly, the content's been so bad since like BO6 came out. Part of me genuinely believes it. Is it like a strategy to basically accept people are going to play BO6 a shit ton and then after a month or so drop like insanely hyped promos and hope that, you know, the BO6 hype is like worn off a little bit and then come back? Because it genuinely has been shocking that I thought maybe since BO6 and obviously OG Fortnite's coming back, you're right, I think they would try to up like the ante a bit in terms of just content in general being released, but they have done the opposite. They've seemingly just tried to almost accept the fact that people are not going to play as much right now and then try and win them back a little bit later, which it's a bold strategy, Cotton. I mean, we will see if it pays off for them. Also, I will reply to this Ryan White comment saying, surely only kids play Fortnite, so it won't be that much of a loss, but EA do need to step up because the game is so damn bad. See, this is where you're slightly mistaken, Ryan, because they want kids to play this game. EA, and this is like a gamble simulator, but they need children to play their game. So they actually do fight with Fortnite a bit when it comes to a certain audience. Yes, not the 6-year-olds, right? Not them, but the 12, 13, 14-year-olds. They're trying to get their attention too. They absolutely are, because that's dollar signs. That's mommy's credit card, dropping gambling addictions. You best believe they're fighting to keep those kids around. Kenny once again says, you're one of my favorite FIFA content creators this year. Great news, informational vids. Appreciate you. Appreciate you too, man. Thank you for your kind words. I just try and add a little bit of fun when things are stale like this, you know, try and be sort of a spokesperson for the people like you guys, more of the common folk out there. You know, I don't spend money. I'm not like most other creators, and I know that that's like sort of a meme or cliche where it's like, I'm not like the other girls, but also I'm just like one of you guys, but I'm just kind of talking about it and I'm speaking about it. That's what I try and do, right? Of course, I'm probably not perfect at it, but Timmy 8K, if the game is in trouble with people leaving this junk for COD, I think the final nail will be when GTA is released in a few years. Hopefully they calm down with the expensive EVOs, as EVOs are the only way to have fun enjoying this game with my English RTG. And the first part to this saying like the final nail will be when GTA is released. The thing with like FIFA is that, honest to God, there will never be a sort of final nail in the coffin when it's the best football game we've got. It's still the best football game we've got right now. I know it's kind of subjective with PES and stuff like that, but I think we can mostly say it's the best one we've got right now. For there to be a literal final nail in the coffin, there needs to be a competitor that comes in that actually can rival with EA, which will be extremely difficult to do, but because they will be the best football game in existence maybe forever, there will always be a certain base that will just, they have a permanent amount of sales they will basically always have. It's just like Madden. It's just like these other sports games that kind of have a monopoly on stuff. There's always a certain base sales that they will no matter what get, because they're really the best and only, mostly only, sometimes not only, but mostly only game on the market if you love the sport. And unfortunately, and I mean not unfortunately, but you guys know a lot of people love football, so they're always going to have this hold on the market a bit. So it sucks to say, but that's where there needs to be competition. Otherwise, I mean, nothing will really happen to a certain point. They can make the game way less populated. And I mean, they already have done that, right? Think about FIFA 15, 16. I mean, there was Sidemen videos getting 15 million views on FIFA. I mean, there would be nothing close to that today, right? They're already doing a great job of limiting their base, but this is why we need competition, because I do genuinely think that they will always have a certain fan base if they have a monopoly on the scene, right? Nats fan 18, where do you think Soto will sign? I really don't think the Yankees have the money against the luxury tax. I really think the Nats have a chance to bring him back. Or sorry, you said my Nats have a chance to bring him back. Oh yeah, obviously you're Nats fan 18. That would make sense. If you guys are not familiar, this is a baseball question. I think Juan Soto will probably sign back with the Yankees. I know it's like the coldest take in the world, but I think that, yes, you're right that they don't have the money against a luxury tax, but the problem is they can move some money around, and if they don't sign Juan Soto back, it is a colossal disaster for the Yankees organization that I think that they can't even risk to afford doing that. Obviously, I think he's meeting with Toronto. He's meeting with Boston. I mean, there's a lot of places he could sign, but I think he will probably end up signing back with the Yankees. If you think about it, legacy, he's got a short porch to add to his home run totals for his career. Probably the best team to grow your brand is the Yankees, so it just makes sense for him to sign back there. But it would be really cool to have the Nats just sign him back again. You know, trade him for that whole haul, even though that haul hasn't really done much. CJ Abrams? You got CJ Abrams in the trade, right? But still, I want to just trade him for the whole haul, and then he comes back again just like, what, 4 years later? But I would just say the Yankees. Slowing down the power curve is amazing, says Scorpion. You don't have to worry as much about having the most meta players. You can get away with having players that you like. You don't have to worry about playing the game non-stop so your team does not fall behind. The lower tier promo players you get are more usable. Evos are able to keep up and with the power curve. They could also release more and better Evos, but they won't do that for free. I think that, yes, there is some, for sure, like some positives to slowing the power curve down. We've talked about that I really do think that slowing the power curve down is not a bad idea in and of itself. I don't think that's why the game is not doing well right now. I don't think that's the case at all. There are lots of ways you can have engaging content and slow the power curve down to me. I think there's a ton of ways you could do that. They're not doing engaging content at all. I mean, there's just no engaging content at the moment because you can't do anything on your own accord. It's all on EA's terms. What game can you play besides this game where it's like you hop on right now and you could actually really not play as much as you want to get rewarded for it? Like, it's really up to EA to decide your experience. It's not up to you. I mean, it's shocking we just accept that. Like, we just accept just getting fucked in our asses. And Short, I think they did change the name to Winter Wildcards, and he means, I think, Futmas turned into Winter Wildcards, right? I mean, that is what the Winter promo turned into, was Winter Wildcards, but honestly, we can't compare Winter Wildcards with Futmas, okay? I know is it nostalgia talking? I don't think so. It could be, but I really don't think it's nostalgia talking. Like, Futmas was just better. It was just more fun, more engaging, better, all the above. Winter Wildcards, just spend money now, you fucking broke-ass bitches. But every promo is nowadays anyway. James Norris with a pro and streamers gets so much money from tournaments and content as soon as the game comes out every year. Know they spend thousands on it before even really playing, so unfortunately there's no reason for them to fix. Okay, so I think you're saying, yeah, people spend money as soon as the game drops no matter what, so no reason for them to really fix. And it's true, if you spend money, if you're over here, if you're a creator, you're a pro player, I mean, the pro players, I mean, it's we have an esport that you have to spend $1,000 as an entry fee, basically. I mean, it's more than that. It's more than 1,000 as an entry fee because you have to have the best team. I mean, that is the biggest fucking ridiculous joke you'll ever hear in esports. I mean, that shit's insane. And streamers, I get why you'd spend money because obviously for them, it's like just an expense. It's just a business expense. You end up making more money if you probably drop a little bit more money at the start of the game. So it's hard for me to like hate on that too much per se, as long as you absolutely positively make sure that you are telling your viewers, don't do this, I'm doing this for content. Problem is though, if you open FIFA points on stream, you don't think people are gonna just do it anyway because, you know, they see the fun that you just had opening packs and stuff like that, and it just entices them to do it more. I mean, of course that's going to, so you kind of can't really get out of it as a streamer. If you're opening packs with points, you're kind of going to entice it to a certain extent, some more than others. If you never say a bad word about it, then of course that's gonna be very enticing. But if you say, you know, if we talk shit about spending money all the time, then yeah, you're gonna entice it less, which is good. But still, at some point, if you're opening packs on the stream with FIFA points, then obviously you are contributing to part of the problem, right? And then it's hard to get around that. If you are the Mets, who do you sign this offseason? Re-sign Pete Alonso. And another baseball question, by the way. I'm stunned I just saw 2 baseball questions on our first 10. That's actually insane. I don't know how much Pete Alonso's going for. What are we thinking his contract's gonna be? 20 mil? Or is it gonna be 17 mil? Some like a prove it deal, possibly like a 1-year prove it? Or are we gonna see like a 5-year, $125 million deal? I don't know. But if I'm the Mets, I know Pete Alonso is like such a fan favorite. My priority would actually not be to re-sign Pete Alonso. Do it if the price is right. You can get some other pieces in there that are like more impactful than Pete Alonso, but I wouldn't write it off. I wouldn't say it's probably the biggest priority for them though, honestly. In case Vaughn, you're spitting, I won't read through all of this because of the fact that I'm trying to get through all these comments. So I can just read more individual people's comments, but you're right. Unrewarding, no skill gap, mix of bad gameplay, bad content. Rush is not fast paced because of celebrations and replays. I mean, yeah, the rush thing is weird because the games actually last quite a long time, surprisingly. I mean, there's what, 6 or 7 minutes, right? And then the celebrations after the goals, and it's really a strange, like, they gotta shorten rush games, honestly. I thought it was gonna be a lot shorter than that. Eric T, EA thinks Futmas promo is too insensitive, but every year they give Ramadan kits, etc. Isn't that a bit odd? And yeah, I mean, I have absolutely no idea why that is. And also, like, you know, we're assuming that Futmas is not a thing because it's called Futmas. There's a chance that that's not even the case, but why would we not think that you stopped releasing FUTMAS because it was called FUTMAS if you never tell us why you don't release the goddamn promo anymore? So of course we're gonna assume the worst. We're going to point out hypocrisies like that. I mean, of course we're going to. Sam Dixon, pack weight is that bad that could give us 85 10s and we still wouldn't pack a walkout or promo card. That's kind of the funny thing is that, remember when 85 10s would come out and it was like, okay, well, we're about to pack some crazy shit, right? You open an 85 10 back when maybe icon swaps existed, and it was like, you're gonna pack something crazy. You almost want to save it for team of the year so you can have like not a decent chance to pack a team of the year, but like a pretty good comparatively to any other pack you're gonna open chance at a team of the year, right? Now it's like giving you an 85 10 during team of the year, and there is the 0.00001% chance to pick a team of the year in that pack. I mean, I don't know. The 85 10s are no longer what they used to be. No big pack almost is what it used to be because just no fun allowed. Robert, I think that tweet saying that people come back for the big promos, etc., is true to an extent, but way more people than ever have not bought the game, and way more people have quit earlier than before already after 2 to 3 months into the game cycle. If you look at the active players on Steam, it has been going down each year, and for example, this time last year, FC24 had between 60 to 71k active players. Now, with FC25, it is only around 31k during the same period, so the player count got cut in more than half, which is really bad and tells you a lot. Now, if those numbers are true, that's very bad. I don't know if those numbers are true. I haven't seen them myself, so I don't want to, like, you know, say for sure that's the case. But yeah, it's kind of the same talking points. It's just strange. Their decisions have been so strange for the last, really since we got the FIFA license taken away. It's only gone downhill since then. And we all thought it would just get better, and it's only gotten worse, which is sad. IP talked about the Lucio badge problem, so we won't get into that one right now. Hip Hopped in Romania says, who the hell cares? All you want are the same cards. I mean, I have my Romanian Evo team, my Juve Evo team, my Bundesliga Evo team, and I have fun with it. Only con is playing against same teams again and again and again and again. Thuram, Griezmann, Son, VVD, etc. And the funny part is that I have 2 million coins that I don't spend because I only use first owner all the year. I'm assuming you mean like, who the hell cares that there's no FUTMAS anymore and all you want are the same cards in, I guess maybe that means that you just want like meta SBCs maybe, or I'm not sure what you mean by all you want are the same cards. I could be reading into that, you know, wrongly, but the reason I care there's no FUTMAS is that it was one of the most fun times of the year. When I thought of Christmas time, I used to love Christmas time on FIFA. It was amazing. And we just don't, it's just not the same anymore. And I know people use the excuse of like, oh, you're just getting older, so of course it's not the same. No, bitch, the fucking game sucks ass. I'm not getting older. I mean, I technically am, yes, getting older, but I went and played Black Ops 6 I played Black Ops 6 for like 8 hours yesterday. You know how much fun I had doing that? And it's the exact same amount of fun I had when I was 13 playing Black Ops 1. For my first COD game ever. Make good games equals we have fun. You know, it's a shocking fact. Type 1, no one in their right sane mind is opening the store packs with real cash because they are low-rated rares. Having 19 plus store packs is just nuts. Do EA expect us to live on this game and not having real life / relationships to maintain because of all the requirements to play all the modes and all the crafting / challenge SBCs? Last year was a lot, but it was still doable. This year, if you don't do everything, you will struggle to get all season rewards. It's like a big fuck you to casual / semi-dedicated players. I might be proven wrong on EA drops 10k of season points at the last week / day though, and they did end up like the day after this drop like that 1000 XP per weekly objective, right? So they definitely helped with the season progress there. But I mean, you're right. It's been a big fuck you to not only casuals, but also pretty much everybody, not just the dedicated players, semi-dedicated players, the hardcore players, the casual players. It's been pretty much everybody's getting a big fuck you. And I thought it was going to be just mainly casuals, but actually, when they make the game this boring, repetitive, dry, nothing's new about it, the uniqueness of any promo is just out the window basically, and it fucks over everybody because who cares? Like, who actually cares when Track Stars drops and there's no difference between Track Stars and Centurions apart from the name of it, apart from new store packs, and like, I mean, seriously, what is the difference? Who gives a shit? We've all been losers this year. Casual players for sure have been losers. Can't get that fucked up, but everyone's been losers because the game sucks. Chip says they reduced the amount of games for squad battles, recently reduced the amount of points needed for rivals, reduced weekend league games, but for free-to-play players that left it in a massive grind in objectives. I would much rather have exchange packs and grind those all day than play hours on end for 2 84 rated players that won't even get in my team or be usable for the good SBCs. And this is very true. You play all these gameplay objectives for an 84x2 pack. I mean, like, you know how bad pack weight is. 84x2, you're going to get absolutely fucking nothing inside of that. It's like, yeah, you make these things less games, which I guess in theory is like a good thing, but then at the same time, when you give us nothing to do outside of game modes that are not grindable, squad battles is not grindable, rivals is not grindable, but champs is not grindable. I talked about that, what, like 10 minutes ago. You play X amount of games and you wait. That's boring as shit. Who would want to play a game that's like that? Yes, you can have a mode or two that's like that, of course you can, but having nothing be just like, I want to hop on, play 4 games, get some rewards. Nothing does that. Shocking. I mean, that is genuinely shocking we have a game that's like that. Lucky tries trading. I think it's time to watch the party die. Oh, that beat is stuck in my head. Darren Newman says, fair play on all the content, man. Started watching back in 22 or 23 for Team of the Year content. Really refreshing stuff compared to the mainstream creators who pretty much sold out over the years. Morning watch, let's listen while on the bus to work. And you know what? That is exactly what I'm here for. Thank you for the kind words. You know, let me be your little entertainment for 10 minutes a day. Recreate just packed Mbappe. I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous at all. Definitely not. Abacus Frost, are you adverse to making a different channel for gaming in general? Feel like it would be dope. You could still be doing FIFA content, just like an hour of Black Myth Wukong. That's an example. Honestly, I would love to. I love single player games, playing other games and stuff like that. I just never know exactly how to do it because I'm like, okay, with the algorithm, if I fuck up my place in the algorithm, what does that do? Or will people just watch anything? I don't exactly know. So like, I kind of need to just try shit and see what works and see what doesn't. Cause like, obviously I don't want to make videos only for views and shit like that. Like I don't want to, but if I drop a video that doesn't get very many views that I really like making, but then like my next video ends up shit in the algorithm and nobody sees it, it's like, it's just a game that I hate and I have to play as a creator if I want to try and like make it an actual job of mine, but I can't get around it. It's like something I have to think about and I don't know what the best way to do it is. You know, there's some channels that can literally upload fucking them shitting themselves and get like the same amount of views they always would. I don't know exactly what that would look like for me. I really don't, but I love single player games, would love to play them. Having fun with you guys while playing it would also be super awesome. Dimitri JFC, if you have not tried PES 2021, please do so. I have tried for a while just for a comparison. That is how good football simulation gameplay should be. And PES 2021 was the last, it was the last PES of Master League, I think, right? It was 2021, I believe. Yeah, I had mods. On my old laptop I had back before I even got this whole, you know, juiced out PC. That was the only game I modded, so I had PES mods. And that, having PES 2021 mods was the best career mode experience I've ever had and probably will have for the foreseeable future. The gameplay is very realistic. It's very football simulation heavy, like genuinely football simulation heavy. It is realistic. Now online, like their servers are terrible, so it's kind of different for online stuff, but my offline experience with that game was tremendous. I liked having the dichotomy of like slower PES gameplay realistic to like faster FIFA gameplay. Of course, some people might say, you know, they might want kind of both gameplays to be very similar to each other. I liked having both options there, but then PES turned into fucking eFootball dumb bullshit that now Master League has been a promise for what, like 2.5 years, something like that. They've never released it, but you're exactly right. PES 2021 was probably one of my most fun offline football game experiences. Wakusi Remu says, I mean, the most stupid thing with the game right now, Tovan is a striker. Can almost only play him striker because of the player roles. Before, I would have to play them off chem. Now he will just not join the game. Such BS. Why didn't they give them winger? He's always been that way. Now waiting for an Evo or a new Tovan. That's why they do it, because now you're like, oh, I need the next one. Now I have to like look forward to my next one. When a Team of the Year card comes out, even that one will be like, oh, this actually doesn't have like Poacher Plus that I really, really want. I'll have to wait for the Team of the Season card. And then you just, that's what they want. And they don't realize that it's like, oh yeah, at a certain point, we're like, okay, actually this shit fucking blows. Ed Zombie, Team of the Week, just play with a friend, own goal, quit. Play Team of the Week squad battles on beginner, 20 goals and assists, 35 minutes, all done. Crying, laughing emoji, crying, laughing emoji, crying, laughing emoji. Honestly, I have no idea what I have no idea what you're talking about. I use an objective. Play Team of the Week squad battles on beginner. 20 goals and assists. 35 minutes, all done. Somebody help me. I actually don't. Is there an objective for 20 goals and 20 assists or something? I feel like I'm smoking the ganj. I don't know what you're talking about, Ed. And as a Dino, I can't enjoy this game because the IQ thing and the roles are bad. Players don't run where they belong to or you need them. I played 23 and 24 over 1K hours each, but this time I don't have fun and just don't play. By the way, the power curve is better this year than last year. And yes, see, that's a very general sentiment that most of us have, but yes, the game is boring right now. It's boring. Angry Christmas Baby. Just when I was losing hope, I decided to open the Ready Set Rush pack and pulled Mbappe. There goes my luck for the rest of the year. That is up. Wait, one of the AI responses is sorry to hear that. Yeah, the EA gotcha. You're probably playing the game for a while now again. Bananas is that Chew Boy guy just farming engagement. There's no way he believes what he says is true. Just another washed up old head FIFA creator getting his yearly clicks and trying to stay relevant. Obviously, that could be true. Like, that's a pretty cynical way to look at it. It could be true. I think he genuinely thinks that. I just think he's wrong. I think that's I think that's it. I always think people are just engagement farming, and then you realize that most of the time they're not, and they're just not right. And then, you know, right is subjective, of course, but to me, yeah, just not not on the right track. Juan Fernandez with the party emoji. Thanks, Juan. Alfonso, what do you think it'll take for EA to completely overhaul this game? I don't think a one-off dip in revenue will get them to change much. They make and have made more than enough money, and I think nowadays they're trying to milk that microtransaction money out of people as much as possible for more governments and force gambling mechanics ban like Belgium. I think multiple years of profit loss and active player number decrease is the only start. I think there has to be something bigger than that to cause them to change their ways. Keep up the great work. Thank you. And I do actually agree with you, kind of. I think that, yes, it probably will take more than like 1 year of dip. Now, it might not. The reason is they've actually made money and reached their goals microtransaction-wise pretty much every year. So even if they weren't to reach their goal for 1 year, that might be enough concern for them to be like, okay, let's maybe do some stuff. I think if they straight up had a loss, like they didn't even make close to as much as they did last year, I think they would go for some changes. But I do agree in a sense that for a giant overhaul to happen, it probably would take a big, colossal something. Could it be a literal ban on the gambling mechanics, right? For them to make like a huge, gigantic change, I think you're probably right about that. I do think that a one-off dip in revenue, because that's so rare for them, it probably will get them to change some stuff, but just not as much maybe as you would hope it would. Cyber FM, I honestly can't bring myself to turn the game on this last week. I can't be bothered when you know you're just in for a bad experience, and you're not wrong, Cyber. You're just not wrong. Victory Bar, where they celebrate Pride, Ramadan, Chinese New Year, etc., but nothing Christian. Talked about that earlier. And Aaron Thornhill, Futmas wouldn't be banned if Trump was in charge of EA. It probably would not be. Airblazer, it's why I reinstalled the EAFC 24 and played it last night. Far more enjoyable. You won't see me doing that, but I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I'll tell you that much. Giuseppe Chew Boy, more like EA Rent Boy. I don't listen to a word he says. Blush emoji, blush emoji, blush emoji. You got him there. You got him there, Giuseppe. But yeah, I just think that he's going to be a little more on EA's side. He probably knows people that still work there, right? Daniel says, I'm not sure anything can save the game at this point, let alone a promo. However, Futmas is greatly missed. They can rebrand it if the name is an issue. They scrapped it because it was too good. That's what I genuinely believe. I think that if they really wanted to keep Futmas, the name probably wasn't stopping them. That's like my thought behind it. Now, of course, that could not be true, but that's my thought. I think they scrapped it because it was too good and also just too much work for them. That would also be probably my guess. Multiple player SBCs a day is probably a lot of work. So they probably were like, yeah, fuck it. What's our wildcard promo team? Same shit. Make our money. Go fuck yourself. Alfredo, hey, what do you think about Pedro Neto having a Ronaldinho body type for some reason? He has a Ronaldinho body type? Wait, hold on a sec. Fact checkers hard at work here. Pedro Neto, what is his body type? Shouldn't it say on here? Body type, Pedro Neto. Okay, so he has his own body type. Really? Do what Futbin says. Pedro Neto has his own body type? That's kind of weird. Let's see. Body type, Ronaldinho. Okay, so maybe that's a visual glitch. On Futbin, he does have Ronaldinho's. Futbin ads are legitimately giving me epilepsy. I don't know. So I think it's probably a unique body type if I had to guess, and like it's a Futbin glitch. But I don't know. That is kind of odd. Monty Matata, as an older gamer who has friends that have all left FIFA for other games, seems like I'm the last one left playing this game out of all my mates, and I can see how this could be my last FIFA because the game has just become a complete shit show. I've noticed that too. A lot of my friends have not been playing FIFA as much because it's just not that rewarding anymore. It's just not. Rajan Stooley, the only time I even touch Ultimate Team recently is to get any new Chelsea special card players like Team of the Week Cucurella, then don't touch it for like a whole week till another one drops. I think your experience there is pretty normal. Most people kind of play just to see what comes out and then kind of get off again. Sandro Minuz, sorry, says, I think it is good to slow down the power curve, but giving us an icon SBC for one of the worst and most unplayable icons for 400k is just ridiculous. I mean, this guy doesn't get a big stat boost, and his normal card is legit 70k. His Centurion's card would be 120k on the market max. That is one thing too, is like, yeah, one icon SBC is fine, and I actually think that card is okay, but 400k for that card, I mean, come on. You can keep the power curve low while also giving us better valued SBCs. Both things can be true. Anton Gregory says, I like seeing more Wall. So sorry, you Wall fans out there. You guys got fucked over a bit. And then you look like PETA from Hunger Games. Oh God, who the hell is PETA from Hunger Games? Okay, you know what? That could have been so much worse. I will take that. Do I look like PETA? Do I look like PETA? I don't know. Ruler says I'm a casual player, but this game has gone to shite. Literally every SBC is not worth the fodder you are giving up. And pack weight is a no-go. Definitely not seeing any decent walkouts. Best return has been preview packs. Yeah, literally forces people to micros for fuck all. I mean, you're exactly right. George Duncan, so I have 1 mil and the game is dead. Should I just invest in hybrided fodder and hope it rises for Black Friday? Love the vids, man. Keep it up. Honestly, if you want to take a long-term investment risk, then yes. It's really not even that much of a risk, but yes, that's what I would do. And thank you, George. I love you too. 21 Ballers. So how are we even supposed to be excited for promos when pack weight is shit? Yeah, you shouldn't be, and that's why you're not excited. Blade X, I could have elite content, and I still would not play because the gameplay is garbage. And that is true for some people. They definitely wouldn't, and you're one of them. For me, I actually would kind of play it more if at least we had good content, but I can understand why you wouldn't. Shingy from Australia, day 48 of 86 rated Vardy because of 4 Evo. I haven't seen your comment in a while, but last year, if you guys probably know Chingy from last year. Next game, give a weekly +1 Evo. Not a big boost, but if you have it every week, by the end of the game, you can make someone a 99, have a cap at say 88 to start, and advance the cap by 1 every month. See, it's too good of an idea already. I won't even bother reading the rest. It's too good of an idea, Chingy. You got to realize that that's too rewarding, too engaging, too interesting. Bob Rossi, you'd think with the pressure of COD coming back to the best it's been in years, a game half the player base left to play, that EA would just accept defeat and lower their ego to give us what we want. But no, if it's not about profit margins or fitting their bare minimum quota, which I'd argue we're not even getting the bare minimum, no common goals, no repeatable grind, etc., both things we've had every year for the most part, then they absolutely give not a single fuck. Yoda just came out there. One of the most pathetic, predatory gaming companies in the world. P.S. Their content team is absolutely woeful. And Bob Rossi, you are spitting. And is that Bob Ross in your picture? Wow. That, yeah, you're spitting, but that thank God I'm not high, because holy shit, if I saw that when I was high. And Micah has a good argument here, saying like the argument regarding icons pushing power curve too quickly is ridiculous. They released Sissoko for 30K, who's better than any icon center mid for at least 1 million coins. And down here, last sentence is like, tell me that 80 pace Roy Keane in November would break meta. Do me a favor. And it's true, you know, like the argument of not releasing shit because the power curve would move too quickly is like, it doesn't make a lot of sense when you could just release icons that wouldn't push the power curve too heavy and they're at least better and usable. I mean, there's so, I don't know. I totally agree with what you're saying there. Hey, got swags, you know, more complaints about the game. I have Yaya Toure, can't pass from 5 yards away. Shameless from EA. Chrome Dome Alex, the truth is that Futmas was too good of a promo and they did not meet their standards. Wouldn't be surprised if it was scrapped for non-religious reasons. Why make good promos and be that generous when you can make people go to the store packs instead? And that's why I think it happened, probably, is more likely that. It could be because of the religious aspect, but I don't think it would be. Sam McAllister, love your videos. Thank you, Sam. He said down here that, yeah, there are people that are getting ex-pro players to play their champs games for a fee. It's embarrassing. And I mean, it's better value. It's simply like that stuff I don't blame people for necessarily, because it's just better value. It's better value to do that than buy FIFA points. I mean, it's simply better. I wouldn't do it myself ever in a million years, but I don't want people to buy FIFA points, so at least it's better than that. A Sparks, for a video, you should try old gen as it is better than new gen. By better, I mean that defensive AI ain't as strong due to the fallbacks on old gen being shocking. Like you mean the drawback on new gen. The space in the middle is normally open, but not always. We ain't got a trillion of animations like new gen. I do want to try old gen for a video. I probably will sometime. No thanks, as they hate all seasons. I won't be switching this game on during Christmas. Want a festive game? Play World of Tanks. It's free and better. Wow, World of Tanks. Like I played World of Tanks like way back in the day. We're getting towards the end here, so Sparks, I won't read your second comment. I apologize. Mike Jeweler says, what do you think the best formation is this year? I seem to be winning with the 4-1-2-1-2. Narrow, as I actually think unless you can play well and use wingers to full potential, it's better playing narrow. I think that, yeah, this year it is still quite personal preference because we're not at that point where there's one formation significantly better than the rest to me. So really, it's whatever you think you're most comfortable with. I would just keep playing for now. Sam Cresswell, love your content, brother. I love you. These types of promos and better objectives would uplift us gamers. That might be a chat GPT comment. And you know what? I thank you, bots. If you're here, thank you to the bots. Dominoes, why are you maniacs still playing this every day? Well, that's a fair question. Hi, it's Gabe. JFC, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought you were Canadian. Also, do you like hockey? I went to my first NHL game last week between the Blackhawks and the Wild. Pretty fun. I mean, Minnesota and Minnesota and Canada are, I mean, they're border. I mean, it's basically Canada. And you can't get much closer to being Canadian than Minnesota. I used to like hockey a lot. I just don't have time for like that many sports. I watch football religiously, baseball religiously, soccer religiously, well, football, both footballs religiously, and basketball a lot. I don't watch it as much as the other ones. I used to be the, biggest hardcore basketball fan, not as much as I used to be, just the time aspect. I gotta kind of pick and choose my favorites, but hockey when I was younger was one of my favorite sports. That was back when it was like Crosby and Evgeny Malkin and Ovechkin was, it was like late 2000s, early 2010s. Jerome McGinley, Steven Stamkos, right? Like they get a random guys like that. Base 4388, everything EA did this year was to remove as much choice to the user as possible. Copy paste FC24, but ask themselves, how much money can I take out per user for as long as possible? And he goes through down here. It says a lot of text incoming, and if you want to read through all this, you can. He's preaching in this comment section, but I won't read through all of it for you. He does say on here, how is any of this legal? That is a question you'd have to ask your local lawmaker who has no fucking idea what's going on. Some Dasher, this is the first FIFA I've played since the first day of release. I liked the end of last year, so hopefully they turn it around, but this is just absurd. I hope they turn it around too. I really hope so. Karma is real. Packed Modric Centurion untradeable. Is there any way to use Bellingham's gold card? I think De Jong 87 gold is better in game. So packed Modric Centurion untradeable. Is there any way to use Bellingham's gold card? I don't exactly know what you're asking me. I think you just mean like, what's the best role for Bellingham's gold card? And honestly, I don't know if there is one for me. I don't like Bellingham's gold card as much as some people probably would. I kind of agree that De Jong's 87 might be better in game. I might actually choose De Jong over Bellingham just because of the way the card is in this game. It's like the roles plus the play styles are not that great on his base card. Tigress Orchid, nobody from CC mentioned anywhere how crippled evolutions are this year. I'm assuming you mean content creation. Nobody from content creation mentioned that. They said last year they'll improve them. Instead, they crippled them so hard. And yeah, I mean, I love evolutions. I literally love them so much. And yeah, it does so far. There's been some things that I like about it this year. It's some things that have been really disappointing with it. And it just feels like every aspect of this game has just stuff that you're like, ugh, that you just can't find any part of this game without some shit that just makes you sigh and in disagreement. Joel Santos, gameplay-wise, last year was way worse than this year, but the content and pack weight this year is horrific. They marketed improved rewards so much, but of course, we can't have nice things, so they chalked the pack weight. And yeah, I mean, you market that stuff and you get rid of the good pack weight, so what the fuck's the point? White Rex, so you're fielding questions, I hear. Can you tell me why EA is the greediest group of Okay, thank God. I'd have been demonetized if I said that, so I'm glad I did not say that, but love your content. You know what? Thank you. James Gallegos, love this game. Can't play real soccer no more from injury. At least I can play it in a video game. You know what? That is true. And I'm sorry to hear about your injury. I still do love parts of this game. I want it to be great. I really do. Avitz is crazy. All streamers have posted a video or several talking about how bad this game is, content, etc., etc. It's not like last year where they messed up giving OP cards away by mistake. It's more like already so surrendered to the fact that it's shit. And that's true because it's so boring. Romanian says Basin doesn't care that he spends all that money on FC points. He makes money on videos, then puts his purchases as taxable expense for his business. It sucks because he's turning little kids into gambling addicts. And yeah, listen, Bateson deserves some respect for just, being in the scene for a long time, being a big name in the scene for a long time. But at the same time, I fundamentally disagree with his approach on advertising gambling to underage people, 18 or less. I don't watch his videos, so maybe he says in there a lot that he's like, guys, don't spend this money. I'm going to spend it, but you don't do it. If he does that, then that's cool. But of course, if he doesn't, then it's just, yeah, it's bad, really bad. Luke Reuter, am I the only one having fun? I packed Saliba and Sofia for the first promo, and they were both crazy. I like that every team is not stacked to the moon like last year. Plenty of content if you don't play 20 hours a day. You might be the only one. I think you're the only comment so far saying you're having fun, but hey, I'm really glad you're having fun, okay? It's supposed to be having fun. I'm glad you're having fun. And YouTube Tade says that he plays limited like this now. 5 rivals wins, plays champs as I like, and that's it. Playing limited like that, my sanity went up 500%. That's what you should do. You should play very limited like that. Foot Tracker says our community will never be satisfied. We want Christmas promo, but when we get it, we're disappointed. Crying laughing emoji. Yeah, I mean, of course, I think to a certain extent, you will find people that will never be happy. Of course you're going to. I try on this channel not to do that. I really do. Andrick says, I forgot about Timmy Thick. And that is the last comment. I uploaded my next video, which there's I think 25 more, but I won't be able to get to those, I don't think, because we have been here for a while. But how do you forget about Timmy Thick? How could you forget? But I think that's all. I'm going to do this probably, I would say, once a month at least. Just going to talk to you guys about random shit and talk until your ear falls off from listening to my voice. If you made it this far, ass emojis in the comments, please. Just drop the peach, okay? If you somehow made it to this far in the video, might be my longest one yet. If you made it this far, drop the ass, okay? We're dropping ass in the comments. Love you all. See you soon. Peace.